guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Mail. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy, he is 45 years old, he's a surgeon, done very well for himself, and right now there's some trouble in paradise. You see, things aren't going too well with his girlfriend. His girlfriend's 29, so she's like 16 years younger than him. She recently graduated medical school, passed the license exams, all that, so she's a doctor too. And you're going to see that their whole relationship has just been drama central. And apparently her crazy matches her good looks. You can see why he's with her. And recently, they were on vacation, and a big fight erupted, and he ended up leaving her at the airport. And let's just say she's not too pleased about that. It's a big, giant mess. And so he's looking to share his story and obviously look for advice and all that. And I'm covering this story for three reasons. One, it's very entertaining. Two, and most important, me as well as you guys need to smack some good sense into this guy and to end it with her, because this has just gotten to the point that it's ridiculous. And three, the hot crazy scale absolutely exists. And guys, if you get involved with a gal, and I don't care how good looking she is, if she demonstrates the crazy, it's drama, drama, drama all the time, you need to end it with her. And if you don't, at that point, any turmoil that continues in your life is on you. Don't expect anybody else to feel bad for you. So it starts off, it says here, oh yeah, by the way, if you haven't done it yet already, come check me out on X, formerly Twitter. Really trying to grow out there, just hit 5,000 followers, so come on over and join the crew. Okay. It says, hello SSM. I've been a long-time follower of your channel, and I've been there since you were reading in your living room. Well, Doc, thank you very much for your support. But if you've been watching me for 5 years, I don't know how you're with this crazy girl and still, going through this. But anyhow, hopefully that'll change. Anyhow, I'd like to get something out there. I'm 45 years old, and I have a girlfriend, 29. Let us call her Amber. Oh, Amber is a perfect name for her, man. I've been a surgeon for 12 years, making pretty decent living, and I have a good career. Amber just finished medical school and passed her physician license exam several months ago. She's an 8 in the looks department, smart, and can be very accommodating and cooperative at times. At times? Okay, so she's an 8. Not a 9 or a 10, but she's an 8. I can do girlfriend material 8. 9, 10, no way. But if she's an 8 and she's crazy and a drama queen, oh hell no. But then again, the crazy hot matrix should be an exact science. The hotter they are, the crazier they can get. She can go from a 4 to a 10, I guess in craziness, in a millisecond, usually depending on her mood. We've been together for 3 years with many ups and downs along the way. Whenever trouble happens and we fight, I wall up and not back down unless I later realize that I was in the wrong. Well, good for you. Whenever she starts acting like a jackass, you stand up for yourself and all that, good. But here's the thing, Doc. After 3 years with her, and her behaving, obviously, and all the guys you're about to hear about, why are you with her? You're a surgeon. You're 45. You're in your prime. Obviously, unless you have astronomical student loans beyond anything I can imagine, I would imagine at this point your net worth is fairly decent. Great career. You should have no problem getting women. Hence, you're with a 29-year-old who's good looking and all that. So why are you dealing with the drama? Unless, like a lot of guys, they like the drama. She probably brings that crazy into the bedroom. But guess what? Plenty of options out there. I had to say that early on to make the point, because as we go through the story. And by the way, you've been watching me for 5 years since I was on the goddamn couch. Yeah, I know well not to be in a situation like this. Well, anyway, we went on vacation. At the tail end of it, before going to the airport, we had a fight that ended in another duel of the fates. Drama, drama, drama. We were both silent in the cab and on the way to the airport. Well, I already cooled down, but upon arriving, she quickly got her suitcase and rushed in, leaving me behind. This chick is going to be a doctor. Take that in, guys. People's lives are going to be in her hands, and she's behaving like this now, and what you're about to hear in a moment. Please, Doc, at the end of this, send me who she is, so I can make sure if I'm ever in that area, I never have her. I'm serious. She left me behind. In the airport, she tried her best to avoid me. One time I noticed her slip behind me to a different check-in counter and then hurried away. I got the message, so I settled close to my assigned boarding gate area by myself, and she was out of sight. Okay, that's real mature. I mean, you're going to be on the flight together. You're going to sit next to each other, I'm assuming. So, drama, drama, drama. Our flight was supposed to depart at 6:30 p.m. A few minutes before boarding time, I brought her a cup of coffee as a peace offering, if you may, which I gave it to her when we boarded. So you bought it for her, okay? Which you planned to give to her when you boarded because you were seated next to each other. When our flight started accepting passengers, I boarded, but she was not in the plane. Moments later, an attendant with a tablet approached me and asked if I knew where Amber was. Where is she? I mean, anybody that has ever flown before knows darn well if your flight's at 6:30, then you ought to be in the area about, they'll start boarding the plane probably about 45 minutes beforehand, depending on the size of the plane. The bigger the plane, the more they'll board earlier. She ought to be around. So what's taking her so long? I know women take their time in the bathrooms, but Jesus. Well, I called her phone, no answer. Then when the plane was about to taxi, my phone blows up with calls and messages from her. She's staying behind. Of course, I couldn't answer her call, so I texted her back. Apparently, she mentioned that she had to charge her phone on the other side of the airport, and she didn't hear the PA announcements. What a load of crap. Again, any adult, she's a doctor now, she'll have the intelligence to know, stay close to where the plane is, the boarding and everything like that. She knew the time of the flight, and she missed it. And so she got left behind, saying that it was my fault that I didn't call her when I was boarding, and the usual, how could you do this to me? I hate you. And how easy is it for you to just toss me aside and all the other womanese sign language? How is it your fault that she missed the fucking flight? She chose to relocate on the other side of the airport. She was aware of the flight time. Not yours. You're not her daddy. Well, I'm sure she calls you daddy sometimes. You're not her father that has to do that for her, for heaven's sake. What a load of crap. Charging her phone? Newsflash, unless you're vacationing in some third world country and the airport is technologically out of date, there are charging stations and USB ports everywhere. In a lot of places, right on every freaking seat in the waiting area before you board on the plane, she could charge it. No, one of two things is going on. Let's see if you guys agree with me. A, she was probably on the other side of the airport at a bar, drinking because she's mad at you, and probably texting or calling one of her girlfriends or one of her guys as she keeps in the friend zone to bitch about you. Or B, call me crazy, she did it on purpose. She missed the flight on purpose to create more drama, blame you, yell at you, and all that to make things difficult for you. I don't know what you guys think. We're not done. But blaming you. No accountability. I just texted her back saying that I'll call her and book her on the next flight. Once we landed, the flight home was just like 45 minutes. Smack! Doc, did you just say what I think I heard you say? That you're going to book her flight? Meaning as in you're going to do it yourself and pay for it? Why can't she book herself a flight? Why can't she pay for it? That's my point. I think she did this on purpose to punish you. And here's the question. Why the fuck are you still with her? And after listening to me for 5 years, why are you dealing with this crap? Pussy can't be that good. Well, when we landed, my phone blew up again. I then answered her call. I wouldn't have. She then said the same BS that she texted me earlier. I told her to zip it and stop with the blame game, and I was going to get her on the next flight. Well, I liked everything until you said you're going to get her on the next flight. Bitch, you can book your own flight. The next flight was at 4:45 in the morning the next day. I booked the flight for her. I know, smack. Yeah, smack. Let her do it. What'd you teach her? Nothing. She can act like an ass, no responsibility, and she doesn't have to pay for it. She still kept on her sign language despite the gesture and finally decided it was over between us. Oh, she broke up with you after you paid for her flight. I got a feeling that your entire 3-year relationship was probably shit like this. Fighting, drama, you fight and you fuck. Makeup, breakup, that type of thing. I'm sure you broke up lots of times like this. I know better than to chase a woman who declares her independence because it's either a call for help or she's already gone and no effort will bring her back. You never chase after somebody that dumps you. It's just a waste of time and energy. Well, on my way home, she called again saying that it was over. Well, didn't she already tell you it was over? And then I thought that booking her a flight could just erase this, and I didn't even have the decency to book her a room for the night. You booked her flight, now she wants a fucking room? I just told her, I thought you already had broken up with me. Now you expect me to pay for a hotel. She hung up the phone and kept blasting my phone with the same rhetoric. Doc, this bitch is crazy. What the fuck? And again, guys, lives are going to be held in her hands. That's the scary part here. Well, she even called my brother with an obviously watered-down version of pinning her as the victim of my cruelty. I told my brother what happened. He got it right away, saying she knew that she had a flight, and so she had to exercise the right precautions, like staying close to the boarding gate or listening to the announcements or the PA system. That's just being an adult. Well, your brother's right. But here's the bigger thing. She called your brother? Why is she calling your brother? Why is your brother even like answering her phone and listening to her fucking sob story? You know? Drama, drama, drama. If I was your brother, I would have been like, hey, you work that shit out. It's not my fucking problem. Jessica or Amber, what her fucking name is. Now there's been silence. She'll be coming home in the morning, and I'm gonna expect a big fight. Well, I do plan to hear her out if she cools down, but if not, then I guess it's over. Thanks, SSM. Keep up the good work. Okay, here we go. Pfft, smack. What do you mean, you guess it's over? It is over. Don't even think about rekindling things or making up anything like that. She's an asshole. But you know what? I gotta be honest, Doc. By you being with her all this time and watching my channel and knowing what you know and seeing how fucking unhinged she gets and her blaming you for this and it wasn't your fault, you're kind of an asshole too. I'm being honest here. End it with her. I don't know what your living arrangements are. I don't know if you share an apartment that you got together or she's living at your place or any number of things, but it's time for her to pack up and go. You know, if you both got an apartment together, let's say you're in an apartment, then obviously you got some things to work out lease-wise. If it's your house or I'm assuming at 45 you own your own place, then she can pack up her shit and get out of there. That's what she can do. She can go with somebody else. I'm sure she has somebody. But my God, man, life is too short. It's not worth this at this point. And going forward, after you send in this story here, and you're going to get, I promise you, I give all the guys your permission in the comment section to say what they got to say to smack some sense into you. If after all this, you're still with her, any shit that happens, that's on you, dude. I'm being honest here. And it's a possibility that she was with you all through medical school and everything, because obviously you're a doctor, and she obviously is a doctor too. They all tended to hook up, which that's a whole other conversation about the cheating and hooking up in the medical community. Ding, ding, ding. You think she's going to be honest and not cheat on you, you're nuts. But let's go back to the fact that it's a possibility she was with you because, you know, she was shacking up with you and saved on rent and all those other things. You booked her freaking flight, so I'm assuming you paid for the vacation and other things. Look, you wrote into me, so I got to say these things. So this is not a good situation. End it with her. And for heaven's sakes, maybe stay out of anybody in the medical field. I know people in the medical field are with those in the medical field because they get it and everything like that and the long hours and all that. But you've heard the stories. You know it doesn't go well. You know about the nurses and the doctors and all what goes on behind the scenes. I've done plenty. She's an asshole, you know. And I honestly stand by the fact that I think she didn't just miss the flight because maybe she was drunk. I think she did it on purpose. I stand by that. To do it on purpose, to punish you for whatever that fight in the taxi was all about. And then blame it on you, stir up drama, and then get you to predictably pay for it and all that stuff to punish you. I'm serious. There are gals that are crazy enough to do that, and you said flat out in the beginning, she's an 8, and it definitely matches the crazy on the hot crazy scale. So it is time to end it, sir. Okay? Please. Do yourself a favor and end it with her. And going forward, afterwards, be alone for a while. Okay? If you want to get laid, you know, well, that's on you, but certainly don't be in a relationship with her. Be in a relationship at all. Work on yourself. Figure out why it is you stay with someone like this long. Okay, maybe she's younger than you. That's attractive to you, and obviously she's good looking because she said she's an 8 and probably took care in the bedroom when she wasn't being a bitch. But is it really worth? Is that really match all the shit you deal with her? And you know what? Nothing's ever one sided. I'm sure you have said and done things over time that probably made put you in the asshole department. And when I say asshole, I don't mean in a good way, good kind of asshole. But still, it's not worth it, man. And so, to all you guys out there that this may sound similar to a relationship you're in right now, for God's sakes, it's time to part ways. Figure out why you're attracted to gals like this and fix that so in future relationships you don't deal with this kind of crap. Life is too short. It's not worth it, man. So that's what I think. So when she comes home, because he sent me this today, it was the right place, right time. I logged in my email. It was right at the top. He had a description that caught my eye. I'm like, so this shit just happened. When she comes rolling in tomorrow and is pissed off about it, goodbye. I don't care what she says. And probably when she realizes it's over, first she's going to just yell at you, expecting you to cave. But then when she probably realizes it's really over, then she's going to do the waterworks. That's when she's going to do the I'm so sorry and cry and somehow twist it around to make you question whether it was your fault. And then you're going to be back to the same bullshit in a week. Don't fall for it. You know how they operate. Hobag handbook. So please, Doc, end it with her. Move on, end of story, and don't get involved with girls like that. So, entertaining story. I'm glad you got on the plane without her, because, again, even if she didn't do it on purpose, which I highly doubt, she's a grown-ass woman. She's a big girl. She knows you'd be by the plane. She knew it was taking off at 6:30. If she wasn't doing it on purpose, she was probably on the other side of the airport, drinking, bitching about you on her phone to one of her friends or one of her guy friends, guaranteed. And this is going to be your life with her. You really, imagine she got pregnant and then you have to share a kid with her forever. So it's up to you. So all you guys out there, you're in a situation like this, for God's sakes, end it, move on, reevaluate the situation, why you want like these gals. Otherwise, this is your life. It's not worth it. But Doc, if you like the drama, well, that's on you. But if you stay with her, don't write me again looking for sympathy because you're not going to get it. Okay? If you break up with her and have a good story about your breakup and all that, then share the story. I want to hear that. All the guys will want to hear that. But if you patch it up with her, we don't want to hear it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Please comment down below and let the doctor here know what you think. Let him know, if you agree with me, that this has got to end. And he's been putting up with this crap too long. And let me know if you think she did this all on purpose. She missed the flight on purpose just to cause problems. Seriously, I want to know what you think. If you don't think that, okay, that she missed the plane, she was probably taking a shit and she got distracted. I don't know. I want to hear what you think. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.